Now, man, I didn't realize that I'd been talking without even recording. I must have accidentally hit the... I was in the middle of a flow saying something very deep, I'm sure, because I was talking, I don't, again, know how long I was talking without, in terms of linear time, how long I was talking without actually recording. But I just make this to say, hey, I didn't realize I was talking without recording, so now you're seeing this ending. I don't even know what the previous talk about flow breakers, right? You watch this point, flow breakers at the beginning, a couple times throughout the video. And I guess that came back to bite me. I said that, hey, there are no flow breakers, but I guess that proves to me that, you know, it was, because I'm not going to finish what I was saying, because, you know, it'll probably come out in another video or something. And I say this lightheartedly, of course. And I hope you feel this. Silence. Love you guys. But you don't need me to tell you. You already know. As a consequence of your very existence, that the Lord loves you. Otherwise, your heart wouldn't be beating. You wouldn't be breathing. You wouldn't be aware. If the Lord wasn't with you. If He didn't love you. You don't need me to tell you. You already know. Simply be aware of each breath. See how many breaths, perhaps, you count. And then you reach a point where you lose track. You stop counting because I'm that silence. I'm that limitless space, that stillness before any thoughts arise in consciousness. There, here, every second, every split second. I am this moment. I am eternity, right? This is what we want to experience, witness, subjectively. So I hope you feel this, because it can never leave you. I love you. I say that only to rhyme. In repetition, right? Whispering. Whispering is powerful. It's powerful. Often people think power, they equate power, they think of it, hey, and it's 3:33, just looked at the time. I already said earlier in this video, 33, what does that mean to me? Divine synchronicity. This is what I always experience subjectively. And hey, I can go off on a tangent and not worry about it. And not even loop back. Even be aware of what I just previously said. But I don't have to finish that thought. Of course I can. Perhaps it wants to express through me. Right? Because I'm a perfect channel for the will of the Lord. And I say I am. I say you are too. Because I am. A source of life within me is a source of life within you. And again, we're always fixed and focused on this source within us. From within this context of awareness, we can say that, hey, I receive everything as God showing up to me. And that really allows you to operate from humility. Because you see nothing as being separate. Hey, this person is showing up. Not by coincidence, but again, everything is in harmony and contribution. this earthly circus, this bliss, this abundance, presence, which is always with us, showing up in this outer appearance, simultaneously and subjectively transcendence. We can operate with simultaneous transcendence and groundedness. There really is no difference. We can be Shiva and Shakti at the same time, simultaneously. Because we receive everything as energy, naturally, without having to think about it. It happens for you, in other words. There's nobody that has to do anything about it. As committing to the process, as a result of this, everything shows up harmonious, contributing to whatever your purpose is, or seems to be to somebody else. Because they may really feel where you're at subjectively, very profoundly, because they have that sense of empathy, that, hey, I am deeply connected to this person. Whenever they're feeling whatever state they're at, I really feel that. I take it to heart. Not because I have to think about it, or think that that's the right thing to do, or think that I have to be empathetic, but no, I feel that. Wherever you're at is where I'm at, right? So, naturally, act with compassion, with humanity. And you don't. It's not something that you have to do consciously, because it does itself through you. And I laugh about it, because you gotta have a light heart. If your heart chakra's not open, if that's not feeling whole, then, I know personally, I don't want to be there, right? Because I know what that's like, to be, as I was saying earlier in the video, at a low ebb, at a low level of energy, trapped in negativity. You could say material existence, at a certain lower level of energy. Consciousness. I know what that's like, by contrast. And thus, when the heart chakra is open, when you feel from there, that's what gets you through life. And we don't want to think like that, actually. You know what I'm saying? I have to get through today, right? I know what that's like, too. Just relating with you. Because, again, there has to be that certain element of relatability in order to people to really feel, hey, I can trust what this guy's saying. There's nothing to prove. He's not trying to convince me anything. He's speaking from the heart. Because that heart energy's open. Whether people are aware of that consciously, they feel that deeper part of them is aware of that, we could say. Speaking to their higher self, even if they're predominantly, as said earlier in the video, operating from the base state. Their base state of consciousness is, we could say, in the lower self, in the lower energy centers. But once you rise to the heart energy center, the heart chakra, chakra means wheel of life, a wheel of energy. When energy is flowing abundantly up to this space, you can simply sit in silence, in awareness, and relish the bliss, which is eternal. And as I was saying a few seconds ago, minutes, whatever, linear time, I'm not even really aware of time right now. The Lord still wants me to talk, so here I am. But in terms of linear time, it's really, we could say, where one is at subjectively has really to do with how they relate to time. that ultimately there is something beyond worldly relativity, that the absolute is beyond, we could say, the relative world. You could say beyond time, right? Because it's timeless, as we identify with the permanent awareness that is us, always as the presence, as a consequence of committing to the journey with all sincerity, because you value your subjectivity. You live for the subjective. You live for the eternal. You understand that everything in the environment is transient, but at the same time, in that temporality, you see eternity because of where you're at subjectively. I don't know if I'm gonna, as it approaches 11:11, post these videos separately or connect them. I think the other one ended at 555. It's 555 something. 55 minutes and 59 seconds, I believe, as we were just talking about linear time. And 555, what does that mean? Well, again, synchronicity. The Lord shows up to us in many different ways, in many different forms. And it can be numbers, angel numbers, we could say. 555, well, I'm not going to elaborate on what that means, because ultimately, the fundamental truth is beyond all ideas and meanings. Spiritual truth is even beyond what inner voice, what intuition reveals to us as ideas. The truth is beyond that. As was said earlier in the video, is beyond the second heaven, where thoughts, imagination, manifest effortless. Because of our state of consciousness, we see everything that shows up in the world as concepts, as was, as is, and will be concepts, as the outer existence for all eternity. And thus we see again that which is temporary as eternity, because subjectively there is no difference. The material and spiritual world are one, because you're open. And hey, I'm dwelling in the realm of concepts, of ideas right now. But I understand that I'm the witness that is witnessing these thoughts that show up as they verbally express. And again, for repetition, I'll say that these are not my thoughts. I don't identify with the thoughts. And thus, I don't have to worry about what I'm saying, because they come from a sincere place. And you don't need me to tell you this, because you can feel this. Anyways, before I say something crazy, I've been talking for quite a while now, right? Doesn't feel like that subjectively, but I know that it may seem like, wow, this guy's been talking, he's been basically making a movie. This is like, some movies aren't even an hour plus long, right? Holy cow. And as I said in one of the previous videos too, there's several different ways of tithing. Tithing, people think money. I'm going to go to church on Sunday and give the Lord, let's say, 10%. That's what it says biblically, right? 10% of what I make materially, I'm going to give it to the Lord as an offering. Well, hey, tithing is not only about money. Newsflash, right? Wow, there's more to it. Really, what's more important than that? Money is time. The 5 T's of tithing. Again, which is mentioned a couple videos ago, as with the 4 W's, right? But I'll say it again. Repetition. Tithe, time, temple, treasure, Talent, whatever you've been gifted with, you give your time to, you express it naturally, effortlessly, fluidly, abundantly, to uplift all of humanity. And that is your treasure. Your treasure is giving, because you see life as a game of giving and receiving. That, hey, really, giving and receiving are one. So, hey, the energy, the love that I express, that happens through me, that comes back to me. But I don't do it with that ulterior motive, right? Because again, that's, we could say, analysis paralysis. Overthinking this. It just happens effortless, right? As a consequence of your evolved high level of consciousness. This. It's always this. Whether you're smiling, you're crying, you're walking, talking, and I'm not going to say breathing, because you're always breathing. Because if you weren't breathing, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be in this. You wouldn't be aware of the three-dimensional reality world if you weren't breathing. It says in the Bible, biblically, the only thing, two things binding man to, and we won't say binding, because it is, we're here by choice because we want to be, right? We don't have to be. We don't feel like we need to be, but we want to be a part of this eternal dance, this blissful existence, aware of the three-dimensional reality, but simultaneously transcendence. But we want to be here, and as we're aware that we're here, hey, thank you, Lord. Thank you for existence. Every single moment you can be conscious of this, the presence, which can never leave us, which is itself bliss, and all-knowingness, knowledge, eternity, within me, perpetually, subjectively, can never leave me. Now I say me, but really I mean all of humanity, because I'm not talking about me personally. I'm talking about me in terms of energy, or prana, which is directly connected to, as I was just saying, to, we could say, finish the thought, to loop back to our breathing. Whatever we're doing, walking, talking, breathing, standing, meditating, exercising, reading, writing, whatever we're doing, outwardly, subjectively, we can be fixed and focused on divinity. That, hey, I'm aware that I'm this energy, this Shakti, as I am here in 3D reality. And as I'm aware of each breath, as, again, to loop back and finish the thought, in the Bible it says, not that breath and bread bind man to the world, because again, it's something that we want, we choose to be here, right? We made a choice as this soul awareness to incarnate as this, aware from within this body, in this three-dimensional reality, so that I'm here for a purpose, I'm here for a reason, and it has nothing to do, really, with the personality, because it's something that has been revealed to me subjectively. And so, again, to loop back, to finish the thought that, hey, when I'm aware that bread, food, and breath, air, the life breath, is the only thing, two things, ideas, concepts that are part of this human experience that are allowing me to be aware of the 3D reality, we could say, to have this sensory human experience, to have it. We're not it, right? We're aware of it. We're aware that we're not it, this sensory experience, but at the same time, we're aware of it. We're aware that we're not it, but we're aware of it. All right? And that's May seem like a paradox, but it's not. And I know some of you feel this. Even though I laugh about it, it's actually very serious. Each breath. Imagine going several days just being aware you're breathing, right? How long can I stay focused on the life breath? And wait, what is that space between breaths? Simply breathe in, hold it there a few seconds. Say the same word, repeat it, let's say 11 times. Breathe in, say word 11, release, and as you release, stay there for the count of 11, whatever the word is. And say the same word, whatever, it doesn't matter what the word is. But if you repeat that enough, the Lord's name, something happens within you. The light builds up within you. Because that vibration, that word is not indifferent from the light. It is the light. Because the basis of that is your awareness, your attention. So as you repeat this, as you're constantly conscious of the life breath, constantly fixed and focused on the Lord, maybe for a while initially, you are consciously, mentally aware of the Lord, but after a while it becomes automatic and you don't have to do it. You don't have to think about it because you become it. It's something that you are constantly aware of. And as I said earlier in the video, even if I wanted to, I couldn't not be aware that, hey, this breath is keeping me here. Constantly aware of the Lord. Everything that shows up in awareness that is harmonious as this human experience. I'm constantly fixed and focused on the Lord. And that's a natural result, a consequence of committing to the semen retention journey. You start to experience profoundly life subjectively. And fundamentally, we understand that truth really is beyond all ideas, simultaneously within them. And thus they wish to express, manifest as this harmonious existence, which is continuous, as this human entity transmute all seeming in harmony. Effortlessly transmutes, transforms all energy into higher levels of energy, continuously, blissfully, as I exist here, consciously, effortlessly, simultaneously. Both masculine and feminine faculties, forces within us are in balance. Thus, I can operate with logic and emotion simultaneously, joyously. And the joy is a natural result of that harmony, that inner harmony, that wholeness. I said earlier in the video, that bridge which connects. We want to really understand our human anatomy, because an awareness of this mind-body complex will allow us, as I'm aware of the life breath, as I'm speaking, this will allow us to explore consciously the subjective, spiritual realms of reality. Reality which is not fixed. It's depending on where one is at subjectively, individually, because practically, as we're here, we all have a personality, but we can wear it and it can come off easily because it's not fixed. We don't operate from it rigidly because we know that we're not a personal history, and thus the energy which was formerly focused on that, on the past, is freed up. that energy, that sexual energy, is a result of committing to the semen retention journey. So I'm laughing at myself, stumbling a little bit. That energy within you, you didn't just need me to tell you, because you heard it, you were aware of it, but I just pointed it out because, hey, why not? But to finish the thought, that energy, as a result of committing to the journey, will be freed up. So, hey, all this energy that was previously directed towards sexuality and focused on my personal history, wow, all that energy is now freed up for the magic of the present moment, the magic of eternity, the magic, which is this moment, which is within all that is transient. And at the same time, eternal, immortal. When we understand that, hey, this body, this mind, is mortal. But, hey, it's not going to live here forever. There's something within me that persists long after this form, which, if we're honest, hey, the moment we were born, the moment we came into this world as a little baby, the body is going straight to the grave, going right back to Mother Earth from which it came. But what is that part of us that, hey, my soul awareness, as I made the choice to incarnate here, what is that part of us that is aware after the physical body returns to Mother Earth? And it didn't cut the video off. Hey, that's good. As I opened eyes, there's 20% give me a low battery notification. So I guess that's a sign. Lord saying, hey, you've said enough, right? So I feel like I keep talking forever, but if you're still listening, I said a few minutes ago, I don't know if I'm going to combine these videos or if I'm going to post them separately just to see, hey, you don't, and just to show, hey, you don't have to take things so seriously. But you feel the sincerity. And when I speak of the semen retention journey, I say that very seriously because that's something that I've committed to, in which, as a result of, has profoundly affected this one subjectively. And I know it will you too. And hence I make this. This preaching is the essence. I hope you feel this. Bliss, abundance, timelessness, pure, unblemished consciousness. Whispering again, the power. Simultaneously aware that, hey, this noise is going on in the background, but that, I said background because really all that's happening out there is the background. Once you're at a certain, I won't even say space within yourself, be aware of the life breath. It's a good way to end it. Till the next video. Refinement of action. You can be aware of every single movement. Okay, now I'm really gonna end it.